and it is the solstice tomorrow, so we are in it fully, and welcome so much. I'm so honored to be here with you today. So I would be here live with you tomorrow, however, I am going to a pyramid. If you know me, that's the way that works. I live in Maya land. I'm surrounded by pyramids and temples and sacred sites and beautiful nature places and vortexes, and the magic never ends. So I just can't pass up a holiday. You know, I can't pass up especially a solstice or an equinox, much less a full moon or something awesome. So welcome everybody, and I will bring you with me tomorrow, so don't worry. So I was just moving Aphrodite here. Let's see, maybe you still can't quite see her. So this beautiful Aphrodite is there you are, my darling. Okay. There. So can you see that? I was moving these around so that the right energies want to come forward, and I have this citrine sphere on my Jaguar. This is a Jaguar instrument, and it this one I'm not very good with this one. I have a different one that I took on the retreat. Yeah, I have a better range with the other one. However, I leave this here like the holder, and thank you. So we've just called Ekbalam, our beautiful Jaguar guide. She's always with me anyway. And I love that so many of the indigenous cultures, I see you lost a tooth here. Many indigenous cultures use the Jaguar as one of the guardians of the different directions. And all cats are related, all cats. So lions, tigers, all those. And however, the Jaguar is very special. You know, it's special in Peru, it's special in Native America, in all of South America, Central America. And so I love living here with the Jaguar. And I just got a message from somebody who lives here the other day. And we share places we go, places that we explore. We go out in the jungle, and some people go what they call like back roads, right? Like I went to this small town, I took this route instead of that, and I found this, and you know, so it's I like that, discovering all the magic and mysteries that are here, especially the ones that other people don't know about, or very few people know about, because it's where the magic still exists. It's like a garden, you know, that if you leave a part of your garden untended, you don't cultivate it, you don't organize it, you don't weed it, you don't put chemicals on it. Please don't do that anyway, and just don't, please. It could be a 400-hour essay on why you should not be putting poison on plants or in the earth or in your house or anything. I just use vinegar and water and a little bit of other soaps. So but this citrine is a sphere, and it represents the sun. So citrine is a very, very incredible crystal. I highly recommend that you have some. I have many of them. I have little small pieces. I give them to people on my retreats. Everybody always gets a little pouch of goodiness. I don't have any pouches here to share with you. A little pouch. I go down to my crystal store, or I gather them over time. I take a lot of them to the sites, to the caves, to the ceremonies. So they're being constantly infused with different powers, different energies. And then I give some, and I have some for sale. I gather things as I find them. Right now, my crystal guy in Merida found me these obsidian discs, I guess, right? It's like a medallion. I've been wearing these since I was possessed in the jungle, and that's something you really don't want. Hi Danny, hi Sandra, hi Bonnie, hi Holly, hi Sylvia. Whoops, you disappeared. Hi Maureen, and oh Holly, hi. And so I'm always looking for these. Typically they're made by the Maya, and I used to only be able to find them from one group of women who sell at one particular pyramid site, ancient site, Ekbalam. That's where this is from, which means Black Star Jaguar, which is one of the sites that we go to. And we're going to go in March. So we have the last Dolphin Healing Mayan Magic Retreat happening in March of 2024. What do I mean the last one? Well, there's no more next year. I know that for sure. After that, I live here. Of course, I'm going to be using the magic here. I talk to the dolphins every day. I do healing with them. But how they want to continue, I don't know, and it's not clear. I'm going to Greece in May, and it's going to be a very important portal for anybody who's really on a sacred journey, especially for awakening, reconnecting back to your true source, your Kundalini, your Gaia, recognizing you don't need to ground. You are Gaia, you are made of earth, you are an earth star, and the awakening of things that are going to happen in the dragon year, it's going to be a very intense year energetically. It's not to make you afraid. We're going through the solstice right now. This is resurrection. This is rebirth. And resurrection and rebirth is why they chose it, to say, oh, this is the birthday or whatever. Because this is always, everybody who's ever lived on the planet can see that the days in the north or the south, you're doing the opposite. So I'm in the north-ish. I'm not on the equator, pretty close to the equator compared to where I came from. But in the northern hemisphere, in the south, they're beginning the longest day, right? They're experiencing the longest day. You are experiencing the longest day of the year. So it's really fun because we are a paradigm and we're a constant paradigm. And it's a perfect example of the duality that exists within physical form that is not bad. Duality has been used as a term to say you don't want duality anymore. That's not true. You want to fall through the floor? Do you want to be able to eat? Okay? You need polarity. You need duality. You need the sacred masculine and feminine principle, the energetics, the magnetics. You need them both. And we've been out of balance, massively out of balance. We can see it in our culture. We can see it in our relationships. We can see it in our family paradigms. And our ancestors are calling now. Our ancestors are calling. Our grandmothers are coming to me non-stop. People who are connected to the grandmothers. There was a lady, ooh, pretty, look. So it was so lovely. I had 2 retreats back to back. It was just exquisite. And we did the Dolphin Mayan retreat, and then I did the first Inner Goddess retreat. And the Inner Goddess retreat was all about that deeper inner loving, that sacred feminine, that allowing yourself to receive, that releasing, going back to the inner child, going into the cave, finding that. And I taught them the Kundalini cleanse, which is a very advanced mystery school light body practice and process. And I listened to spirit, and they said you need to share. So I gave them the graphic, which is encoded, and just seeing it is extremely powerful. Now you want to be careful with awakening your Kundalini. Your Kundalini is your life force. It comes from the 8 original cells in the base of your spine, and it is embedded in the sacral. And it is there, it is a physical thing. It's where your body bloomed from, right? It also holds your soul's blueprint. And it's not the only place that holds your soul's blueprint. You have a 9th chakra that does that as well. However, in order to access it that way, you must become really good at your communion with your higher self. Is this what's, okay. So this is where they're going today. So the communing with your higher self is your 8th chakra, your soul star chakra. You have an earth star chakra beneath your feet. It is not part of your personal chakras. It is just outside of what we call your personal light body field. And then you have a soul star chakra, 8th chakra, above your head, not your crown. This is your crown. Your crown, once it's activated and the wings are opened, then it starts to emanate a field, and it becomes a force field, sort of like like an elevator or something from a sci-fi movie where you see light in a column or a tube, because you have coronets, okay? And coronets is like if you put a crown on, an old style crown with all the little points. Why do you think they made up this style? Why do you think people put crowns on their heads? Why do you think they put feathers on their heads? Why do you think they made headdresses of any kind? Hats, those are more made for protection, right? And then it became a thing to show your status and your style. But the real thing we're looking at is that they understood this is a very important part of us. and we've been living in the body, and we've been consumed by TikTok drama and bloobity blobbity blah, and who am I, and I'm not good enough, and I have to strive, and I have to work hard, and I have to have goals, and I have to pay my bills on time. And the first time I got a speeding ticket, I almost died. I mean, I thought I was a bad person. That's how deeply ingrained it was into me that if you do not follow certain rules, you're just bad. You're just bad. Like, you might as well, you know, my mom told me one time that she came over when I had my two babies, my two twins. It's not easy having two babies. And have you been there? And she looked in my drawer of my silverware, and, you know, I have all the little containers, you know, with the proper compartments for the big spoons and the small spoons and so on. And everything was put away. It was a clean house for having twins. However, some of the small spoons were in with some of the big spoons, and she got really upset and yelled at me. And I was just like flabbergasted. I'm standing there, you know, half of a human with babies dripping off of me, and I'm like, what? What? Are you kidding me? And she said something about it being unconscionable. And I said, unconscionable like Hitler? I was like, yeah. And I said, why can't you ever say anything nice to me about me being a mother? I'm like moved there. I don't know anyone. I'm home alone. I've got twins. You know, it's just like this intense, fantastic experience for my soul. And she said, it's not my responsibility to make you feel good about yourself. And she left. Now, at the time, I was extraordinarily hurt and upset and like, oh my God, whatever. However, as almost all of us know, we all have a mother wound, don't we? And it may have to do with a mother in this life that we loved and lost, that we think is fabulous, or that we wished was different. My mom and I have had a relationship like this. Now, I'm adopted, so I have a birth mother somewhere, but I never met her because I was a gray market baby, so they don't really know who my parents were. So when you look at your story as a story, and you say, why would you write a character like this? What would be the purpose of this character? What would be the power of this character? What would make this character unique? What would give it, why would it have these experiences? What would be the point of giving these trials and tests and dramas? You know, oh, let's have a daughter die, and let's be disowned, and let's make millions, and let's lose millions, and let's do this, and let's do that. And you can insert your own story, right? We all have it. We all have it. No one is special in the sense that you have more pain or drama than anyone else. And yes, I can look at some people and say, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so blessed with my challenges. I really wouldn't want to do that one again, because if I react to it, I probably have a life that had that experience. But I've learned to look at myself and others as victors, as victorious already, as already successful, because we are spirit, we are source. We came in to experience this. We manifested through duality, through polarity. There was none. If you want to go to source, just get a good meditation, practice some of my practices. You'll leave your field. You want to do it in a protected way. There's a lot of energies out there you do not want to access. You want your citrine with you. Citrine is clarity. Citrine is wealth. It's the gold ray. The gold ray holds everything. Okay, the gold ray holds all the other rays of creation. Therefore, it's the crayon box with everything. And the best part, I think, I love you. I have lots of citrine all over me and my house all the time. And it's hard to find real citrine these days, so be careful. However, you can buy those little polished stones for very, very cheap. And you can tell if you can see into it, if you can see, this one is not very clear, but I have some that are just incredible. You can see the gold, and you can see the landscapes, or you can see the white. It can vary from very light gold, white, to solid white and solid gold, and everything in between. But the thing is that citrine has a quality, and this one represents the sun. And today we're celebrating the solstice, and this is the winter solstice. This is December 20th. The peak is tomorrow, December 21 of 2023, and we're completing an incredible year. We are 3 years into the decade of metamorphosis. This is the grand societal reset for the entire universe. So if you've been following my spiritual weather reports, or if you are into understanding what the energies are that are happening that may be having an effect on you, and they are, it's like the landscape. It's like planning a trip. Are you going to drive through the mountains? Are you going to drive through snow? Do you have your windshield wipers working? Do you have, during our retreat, we blew the power out. I'm always proud of that. And instantly, the first thing that came to my mind was when I was in Egypt with my first mystery school that I attended. We had 222 people, and we had 4 hours, 2 days in a row to ourselves in the Great Pyramid, in the King's Chamber, in the Queen's Chamber, in the whole thing. And the first day, about an hour or so in, to our 4 hours, we had chanting and toning and music and didgeridoos, and the whole stone walls were vibrating, and they were opening, and there was different scenes, and everybody was very intent on their own personal growth. And this was a while ago, and so the world was denser, the consciousness was heavier. We didn't know and understand what you know and understand now, but just like you, we were wanting to break free. We wanted to break free of our current limits in our consciousness. We knew without a doubt there was something there. We couldn't touch it. We couldn't see it. There was barely internet. And so we, compared to what you have access to now, I feel like, you probably remember this. Like, you're just stumbling around in the dark, spiritually trying to, like, is that another person? Oh my God. And now everybody's talking about it. So now you need clarity and discernment. You need protection. You need to find your own center, because you do not want everyone's information. You do not want everyone's opinion. You do not want to follow every conversation. So I highly recommend citrine, and I'm really pleased. So I picked up the Jaguar to move her, to bring Aphrodite, our love goddess, more fully in. So make sure you watch the show I did yesterday? No, Monday. And I don't know, I barely live in time anymore. I only know time because it says 11:11 for some reason right there. That's interesting. And you say it's 11:11. You said it was 11:11 Jamaica. Awesome. And it was 11:11 on some data right here on the screen. So that was funny. So I moved it, and the citrine sun that stays there fell, and kadoom, badoom, 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 fell off the edge and was getting ready to splatter on my tile floor, and I caught it. And it was boop, 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 like a pinball. Wow. So I feel like this is jumping off the shelf to talk to us today. And that's perfect for the solstice. So remember that the solstice is celebrated for I celebrated the solstice with my children. We had a solstice evergreen. That's what we called the Christmas tree. We decorated a tree outside as well on the solstice, and we hung little biscuits and little cookies with ribbons and other little magical things as a solstice ritual that you might want to do. So I did it because, I kind of am a fairy magic girl. But I had little girls too who liked all that fairy magic stuff. So we got to have a lot of fun. And I'm so happy I'm getting to go visit my family, and I'm going to be there for my dad's 90th birthday, and I'm going to be there for my twins' 27th birthday, and I'm over the moon. So that's a very new development, and it's one of those things where you have to let all the pieces come together. It's not just a matter of deciding or buying a ticket. There's other people's lives involved, and I've had to learn a lot of being in flow and being fluid, and then the magic really does come. It comes when you don't crave it. Sorry. So when the citrine is with you, it does not lose its frequency for anyone. It will not change its vibration. So if you could imagine that you were citrine and you became citrine and you realize that it holds the frequencies of the sun, and our sun holds the frequencies of the great central sun, and the great central sun holds the frequencies of the divine sun, and all of these are held in your solar plexus and your 12th chakra, which is your great central sun chakra. You actually have a chakra. Now that's a transpersonal chakra. Personal chakras intersect with the physical body. Transpersonal chakras, these are energy centers that are a part of you. They're part of your energy makeup. If they don't function, if they don't balance, if they don't communicate, if they're blocked, if they're full of fear, if they're full of all the congestion of fear and drama and contracts that's being pushed to the surface right now. So you're doing a great job. If you've got pain coming up, I have pain in my back and my neck that I haven't had in almost 10 years. And I get a little bit of it, but it's never been this bad. So there's a reason. And it started in the cave, the second cave ceremony that I did. And that was kind of more intentionally for my birthday. So I knew that it was coming back for a reason. And so it's talking to me. I know that it's also because as a homeopathic doctor, we release our past and we release our trauma, and it may just go like a flame and be gone. You may go into a meditation and come out and not even remember why you were upset about your mother. You may go through a deep, deep healing transformation and come home melancholy instead of happy and thrilled. You may be experiencing more energies coming up right now. Well, there's a super fun secret happening right now. Woo! So we're going to dive into the spiritual weather reports. I can give you a little bit more to round out the energies that are happening right now, because it's become one of the most fun and interesting things in my life. I get up every day and I do my spiritual work. I do my love, I do my activation, I set the space, I cleanse and clear my body. I spend time kissing my cat and letting her give me a purr treatment. They're incredible healers, whether they're purring or not, but that's just like the juicy icing and the cherries. Really, I don't like icing. I like the cherries. I did used to like icing. I'll tell you a secret. So I don't eat any sugar now, and I don't really care, to be honest. But it's not like I suffer. Not at all. However, as a child, I loved candy of all kinds, most kinds. And when I was in college, my best friend Karen and I would make birthday cake, and we would make diet birthday cake. Now, diet birthday cake in 1980 was not what you would think diet birthday cake is now. They didn't have light cake, diet cake, sugar-free cake. There was none of that. You just made normal cake, okay? Cake or cake mix. However, diet cake is if the cake was this big and the frosting was this big, you cut the cake in half and you left or doubled the frosting, and that was diet cake. So talk about totally being in the pleasure, right, of I really like the frosting. I just use the cake as a carrier for it. I used to do that with coffee. My ex used to say, have a little coffee with your cream, because I really loved the cream part of it. So these aren't bad, but they're not habits that our body can sustain, and they interrupt our spiritual frequency flow. So a lot of sugar is not a good idea. It just isn't, unfortunately. However, to enjoy the pleasures of things that we did, like Michelle came, she makes us cacao candies and treats. They were painted with gold, and then the next ones had silver glitter, kind of it was magical. They were glittery silver, made with the cacao, roasted cacao seeds, as she makes it all right there and roasts the seeds. She came to the house, throws the seeds right there. They're roasting while she's doing this over here. She made us sikilpak, which is a Mayan dip, I guess you would call it. Oh, I love it so much. It's made out of roasted pumpkin seeds, green tomatoes, and onions, and garlic. And it just, and everything was for that sensory activation. This was the Inner Goddess retreat. The point is to bathe you in love. I do it with the sound healing and with the channeling and with the energy. And I do it with the crystals and the way that I set up the space. And I do it with the sound healers and the other healers that come. And I do it with the food and the senses. So it was so delightful. And then she would bring, there was honey and other cacao mousse. And we didn't even get to it. We were going to make fresh berry vegan ice cream. So we have frozen raspberries and stuff we're eating now because we never even got around to it. We had so much wonderful food. Oh, it was so wonderful. So let me see who else is here. Hi, Diane. And Airy Tag, of course. Hi, Quinn. Oh, happy solstice. Happy solstice. Beautiful. You know, you were popping up a lot during the retreat, Quinn. I saw you several times. It was very interesting when people come in and out. Quinn's one of the incredible, intuitive goddesses that went through the Intuition Awakening Camp and the certification over a year ago, right? Yeah. And so, yeah, I saw you. I kept seeing you with the big smile and your cute, bouncy young hair. You're like, boop, 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 boop. So we did a lot of inner child work, in the caves, and again, everything to make you feel safe, make you feel happy, to bring pleasure into your life. So you want to look at how you do that, because you need to do that, and we do it in unhealthy ways often. So I used to do it by eating or overeating, or thinking that if I let myself eat certain things that was somehow a treat. And you can do that. It's just that once I finally freed myself of the meaning of the food, I don't choose the food anymore from the emotional perspective. And then I'm more interested in the experience, like I'd rather go and, kiss a dolphin or go to the top of the Venus. My target tomorrow is, there have been different places closed for different reasons recently. So I've been reaching out. Is this place open? Is this place open? The pyramids, I have so many pyramids around me. And the one I'm thinking of going to is the Temple of Venus, which is Aphrodite. Which is our morning star, which is Kukulkan, which is the sacred serpent, as the divine sacred feminine energy that we were told to not listen to, who gives us the knowledge and the freedom so that we can move into the tree of life that we are here to. Wow, it's interesting. It's not create, it's sort of embody, but it's sort of like to transcend through. That's a really beautiful vision. They're showing me that we're going to be transcending up through the trunk, the tree of life. A lot of different cultures that here it's a ceiba tree, it's an actual tree, and we go hug it and puts out fluffies and all kinds of fabulous stuff happens. So, all right, let me get the slides up here. And slides, thank you very much. And so we have several energies, and that's what's fun right now. So in our Sacred Spirit Guide class on Monday, we had Bat Spirit come. And again, that comes from all the experiences we did early in the month in the caves, because the bats live there. I love bats. And we experienced the bats in several different ways. So we entered the cave of the womb of Mother. It's called the Guadalupe Cave, or Mary, or the Sacred Divine Feminine. And it is shaped like a womb. The water part is circular, has all these stalactites coming out in the center. There's an oculus, the sun, and different plants come down. And you climb through a certain place to get into that part, and the other part is land, and we sit there, and that's where we have our cacao, and we have musicians, and we have the ceremony, and we have the spa with the herbs, and we do the whole, it's just amazing. And we're all in the cave, but first we start above in the jungle, and we start with the fire, and we start with calling the directions, and we start with the copal. And we start with the copal because the copal is the sacred incense of the Maya, and it comes from a tree. It's a resin from a tree here, and the sap is thick and protective. It removes the shields and the veils that are in front of your perception, because you have fears that don't let you see things that are right there. You have clients, money opportunities, love opportunities, opportunities for healing the body, for spiritual growth. Everything in your life, your soul is orchestrating in every moment and every aspect of you and all of your other lives in your soul. You are all on the same journey. And you're focused as you because you've got to get clear you're the one here in this epic moment. So we're kind of responsible. This is actually rosemary, so this is what they just gave me. Is you're responsible for all of the lives in your soul in this particular life because you're the one here right now with the opportunity to grow and evolve very fast. You get the most input, you get the most say in creating the new reality, the new world. What do you want? Don't sit around like a victim. Don't get overwhelmed by other people's dramas and stories. Just let all that shit go and allow yourself to say, who am I? Why am I here? Go back to the eternal question. Know that you're grounded just by being in your body. Start to love and accept your body and it will change. You ground into your own root. You don't ground into a planet or a house or a time. You're timeless. As timeless beings, we move in and out of no time. Time is part of duality. We created physicality, and it's a miracle. And it's a whole bunch of shit that's been going on for a long time that is culminating right now. We don't need to know it all. We don't need to understand it all. We don't need to judge it at all. We need to be in a place where we allow within to come up and say, I am here right now because. Why are you here? Why are you here? Well, the first thing that you're here to do is to heal the original wound. The original wound to me is the same thing as the mother wound. So I shared a little story of my mom, and my mom and I have been best friends, and then she disowned me. And then we started reconnecting again on my terms. And she's been one of the most powerful teachers in my life. She wanted me so much that the pull of her love drew me. I came through her body, and she had 3 children who died because of an RH blood thing, which kills the baby. And the body that I was being given through her was very weak, and if it had lived, and I didn't want it, so I left. And I found another body through my birth family and found her. And there was no doubt in my mind that we've meant together, be together, and I love her dearly. And we have had incredible experiences up and down the scale of life. So healing the mother wound for me goes to my birth mother gave me up. What are the reasons why? Well, to me, they're based on love. So they were a doctor and a nurse in 1960, and abortion wasn't legal, but they couldn't keep me for their own reasons. And instead of, they could have aborted me, I feel like I was gifted a life through love. Now, I'm not against abortion, or I'm totally pro-choice for whoever wants whatever, so I'm not going down that road. I'm saying that when I looked at feeling abandoned, that's part of the mother wound. If you look at feeling unloved, unseen, unencouraged in any form, my family didn't see me, my family didn't encourage me, my family didn't understand me, that's pretty common. And then there's the power of family. I've never experienced someone who looked like me, acted like me, had mannerisms like me. I was always different, completely different. So friggin' different. I'm taller, bigger framed, everything, even though my mother is German and I have German, but I'm much bigger boned. I have Scotch and Irish too. And so the part of them that we cosmically and karmically and spiritually were a match, and yet that included the fact that I didn't look like them, that I wasn't like them, that I was constantly being told I wasn't like them, and everything else that happened in my life. So I no longer judge people for doing wrong or right. I no longer judge the circumstance or myself that why isn't this different? I'm not complete because of that. If only I had been loved more, if only I hadn't been disowned, if only I hadn't lost all that money, if only this had happened. It's a complete waste of time. It's a complete waste of energy, and I don't want you to waste any time on it. Okay, so today we are in the darkest moment if you're in the north, and I will be most likely leaning to that energy. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, of course, you know we are at extremes. What is the solstice? The equinox is equal day, equal night in general. Okay, I love equinoxes for ceremony, for retreats, because it is insanely powerful energy and it's balanced. We are now not in a balanced state. We are in the energies of imbalance, and we are in extreme. What you want to do is see everything as an infinity symbol, all right? And really think everybody should get infinity light weaving. It is the quintessential energy healing tool and process. It's so full of ways to use it, and it can be used every day. I use it every day, all day. Okay, so if you are in an infinity, where are you? You're in the center. You're in the center where all the energy crosses. The center where all the energy crosses is where masculine and feminine meet, where spiritual and physical meet, okay? Yin and yang, above and below, within and without, and so on, so forth. So this is where creation happens. Creation is what we call manifesting, seeing it with our eyes, feeling it with our bodies. Oh, I feel happy now. You don't have to manifest something that turns into a thing. Right? You know what I mean? I want some malachite. Oh, I love malachite. And such green, verdant Gaia energy, and, you know, wealth as well. But it's that vibrant, deep earth, moss almost energy I love. And then there it is. Okay. However, you can manifest something in your life that is profound, which is like inner peace. And it's not a physical thing. However, it changes who you're being, how you feel, how you react, what you choose, who you see. You're literally creating your reality. There is nothing around you that is imprisoning you. There is no habit you've had, no person you live with, no realization you have about yourself that you've been living small or not expressing yourself or whatever it is, okay? And it's different than your 3D mind thinks. The ego says, yeah, right, you mean I can go buy $1 million house right now? Oh, sure, I have everything. I'm just going to go buy $1 million house right now. Don't be a jerk to yourself. Okay? Tell the ego to just take a chill pill, dude. Okay? Go sit outside, listen to some chants, surf some waves, go for a walk, talk to a butterfly. Get out. Okay? You don't get rid of that part of you. That part of you is holding keys. And you want those keys. What you want is to find your inner frequency, and citrine and the sun and the gold ray are going to do that. And when we're at the extreme, like if you're in the southern hemisphere right now, and when we're in the summer solstice for us, we'll be like, woo, party, right? We'll be like, it's all about light. We're in the extreme light. However, extremes of all kinds are challenging. So I want you to recognize that. We're in an extreme moment. We're literally, a day away from, boo, right? Going back into growing the light. We're coming into pause and stillness. So in the spirit guides, the bat spirits about rebirth, we went into the caves, we saw the bats, they rewired us, they moved all around. Then they came to us and they said, you must realize that you have the ability for regeneration, for rebirth. You don't need your eyes. You don't need what you thought you could use to see your way. You can perceive it. They're putting energies around us. They're rewiring us. And all because we're into the solstice, they said 4 days, which means today, tomorrow, and 2 more days. Okay, and so we have this beautiful portal of the solstice. Then we're moving into the full moon. Right now we're in Mercury retrograde, and one of the coolest things that's happening right now is that we're getting galactic downloads and upgrades like crazy. So yesterday I woke up, I had a massive headache. I'd had a headache a little bit a day before, which is very unusual for me. And I immediately realized maybe I didn't drink enough water, and yet I couldn't shake it. I didn't feel good. I felt loggy. I felt tired. It's not my norm. I don't like it. And in the past, I would be like, oh, this is terrible. I'd start judging it. I was annoyed a little bit because I was like, I want to do this and I want to do that and I have to do this and I need to do that. Ego, 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 ego. If I honor myself, I say, wow, I'm feeling like this. What would be best right now? Stay in bed, curl up with your fuzzy blankie, have a cat purr all over you, okay? And I did that, and I worked a little bit off my phone, but I stayed in the space that was nurturing to me until I felt ready. And then I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody today. Like, I have contractors here building a wall and stuff like that. And I text, hi, how are you? And do you need anything, whatever. But I was like, normally I go down and I say hi, and, I see what they're doing, and I take pictures, and I go for a walk on the beach, and, I'm very connected to nature and outside. Didn't want anything to do with it at all. And I could feel like a little congestion, but none of this is actually physical. I can actually feel it is congestion that's been pushed into the auric field. And so I can be like, I could drink something right now and clear it, and I wouldn't even feel or experiencing it. But the more I channeled the other day, really need to do that. Do the one I did, which has Aphrodite, Venus, did a love, a channeling, and then a love blessing, and it was really awesome. And it was really about that the sacred feminine is rising, and you need to accept that, and in order to nurture that within you, which is awakening your inner powers and in your intuition, and then becoming aligned to your central channel. Your central channel needs to be like citrine. It needs to find its frequency and never alter it, no matter who you're around or what's happening. Even if it's triggering an old pain or a memory, that's why that's being pushed up on the planet right now. And Mercury is in retrograde, so we're reviewing, we're remembering, right? That's why it's coming up. It's a common thing in natural healing and in homeopathy as well, is for symptoms to even go in reverse. Okay, and sometimes there's an aggravation. They get worse, and then they peak. They kind of go, oh, right, and they start to go out. So your goal is never, ever to kill the symptom. The symptom is the messenger. The symptom is not the disease, is not the block, is not the fear. It is not the energy within you or the life that's speaking to you within you that holds the power, or the wound that is causing the challenge and opening the door for your powerful opportunity. Everything right now needs to be shifted. The wound is a wonder. The wound is your portal. The wound is where you will enter space between time, and your timelessness is important because most of us exist outside of time, space, structure. Time, space, space-time, they're different. There's, Kala and Pacha, and they're all the different cultures that had an actual name for this because they understood. However, it's very interesting because your culture determines how you see things, how you measure things, how you value things, and what you think it means, and therefore then decides for you whether you want it or don't want it, whether you're worthy of it or not, whether it's safe for you to have or not. And it's deciding for you before you consciously have an opportunity to say, would you like to know that your best friend in the whole universe is sitting next to you on the train right now, but you're being depressed and thinking about something else, and you're not present, and you're going to miss the opportunity to connect with her? Right? So in every moment, there's portals opening. Genevieve came on the retreat, and we went to, with both of my groups, so we went to the Jaguar Temple at Shelha, which is an ancient site to Ishel, the goddess of the rainbow, moon, women, fertility, all of that. and of the Jaguar. And so now I know I am Jaguar medicine woman because I'm also a shell priestess. And so this is a site that when I first went there, I walked into the site and it was like a movie when someone walks through an invisible wall and it kind of goes, woo, you know, like water or something. And I was like, woo, and I could see the ripple in time happen. And I literally stepped in and was walking in another time, but in the same space. And this is what you can do, and this is what you do when you go somewhere and you enter an ancient temple. There's stargates. They connect through all kinds of portals and wormholes and umbilical cords to other places, other times. You can re-access the wisdom of an ancient tribal place, an ancient kiva. I used to love to go to the kivas in Chaco Canyon when I lived in New Mexico. And if you'd be interested in a retreat in New Mexico, let me know, because that's the only place so far in the U.S. that's really recalled me again. It is the land of enchantment. It was absolutely where I went for my healing and awakening. And my daughter came and went. And I began my healing journey and my spiritual journey there. So the temple, we were able to go in it. We were able to be there alone. We got to set up an altar. We were able to leave our crystals. We bring crystals and different gifts into all the different altars. And then I led the activation and channeled. Ishel took us down into the cenote underneath. The cenotes are underground caves. And there's one right next to it that used to be land, and now it's poof, like a cliff, and it looks like a lake, and it was all underground. It's a cenote, and it's gorgeous. So we have that energy, and we've walked through the jungle, and we've seen Grandma Tree, and we've blessed her womb, and it's one of the most magical fairy Alush nature spirit sites, very feminine energies. And then when we bless the land and I ask it to welcome him, and we enter in this sacred way. We go between the worlds. We walk between the worlds. We see the portals. We each receive different information wherever you are on your journey, wherever you are, because I strategically place each of these ceremonies within the retreat. So if you come in March, and it's on sale through today, and that's it, okay? So, and it's the only one for a year at least. So really, really seriously talk to me if you're interested in that. But I structure it so that we start with a womb-like healing, that I welcome you in the condo into the sacred space, and I do individual sound healings and channeled healings, and they're quite profound. And then we enter circle and we receive a guided. And then in the afternoon we do the cave and the womb and the cacao and the heart opening and the inner child and all of that. And then we move each day, okay, through phases that bring us then to the next phase, where the dolphins come in and they bring us joy, and they release the pain that we've allowed to come up, and they've raised our frequency, and and then we do another activation, and then we go into the sacred ceremony, or we go to the pyramid, and they're strategically placed at a point because it's a journey, it's a cocoon. You don't come and do a bunch of different things. You come, and as soon as you decide to go to something like this, anybody's, okay, you come into the frequency of that reality that's being created in the ethers. That retreat already exists. The retreat in May in Greece already exists. Do you feel yourself there? Do you sense yourself there? Do you sense yourself after being there? Where in the different timelines and wormholes do you intersect now to receive information from your soul about guidance about what's next? So the veil, we call it the veil, or the perceived difference between our physicality and then our auric field, and then all of our layers, dimensions of our light body, mental, emotional, and so on, and all the other realms is a perceptual thing, and we feel separated, and we're coming out of 26,000 years of massive separation from source. This is very new to us as a consciousness to have this new frequency of access to the divine. And so as we're coming out and into this new higher frequency place, it requires an enormous upgrade. And we're having galactic downloads and upgrades right now because of the sun is aligned with the galactic center. And that's been going on for 2 days now, for a couple days. So we feel it before and we'll feel it through today and into the solstice. And it's part of what's preparing us to move through all this. So Mercury's in retrograde. We're meant to review stuff. If it's coming up, it's good, right? And then when we go into the caves, when we activate these, we activate a new level of sensory perception. So what happens is that when you go through the different ceremonies or the retreat in general or the classes that we're having, we're doing the Heal the Mother Wound as your portal to freedom. It's going to be a 3-hour workshop on the 26th, which is the full moon, in about a week. So you want to be there for that. That is a required portal to gift yourself with and repeat and as long as you need to, because these are deep wounds that you might be clearing for lineages or ancestors or within your body or within other lives in other bodies or in the other lives within your soul. We have to get to where we can connect to their powers. So in October, I was told to do the class, Sacred Soul Powers, and connect to your past lives that have powers that you are ready to reclaim now, like consciously work with. And we're talking about your intuitive powers, your sacred feminine powers, your ability to speak to plants or to fairies, your ability to perceive, I see energies, to see things moving, within someone's field or whatever it is, like all levels of why are you here? What do you have? You have at least 7 other lives right now that want to connect. Well, I put that out there to be in November, and it became very clear very quickly. The energy says it's not, you need something else first. You can't do this now. People were not ready. They were not. What happens is you reach a point in your awareness and your evolution, and you don't shame yourself. You are where you are. So look what you're attracted to. Are you attracted to things that are safe and you've done before? Are you sticking with the same path because it is working for you? Or are you sticking with the same path because it's comfortable? You might need something out of your comfort zone. You might need to shake up or change your vitamin routine or your meditation routine. The solstice is about the deepest dark and the deepest light. And the deepest dark we're going to access today is with Mercury in retrograde. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. Mercury is Hermes, Mercury is Thoth. Thoth is holding a pen that he's missing, and he's the scribe. And he has been there through every life you've ever had. This energy, this essence, was a boy in Atlantis, and he desired from his heart to learn the mysteries. He looked up onto the mountains, and this was in a time of beautiful consciousness and the ability to create spheres around continents that kept the consciousness high, that kept people in their heart centered, the ability to communicate and generate enormous, amazing things from crystals and talk to the woods and build temples and pyramids, because no people picked up giant blocks and put them on top of each other to build any of these temples, pyramids, walls, or anything else that we see. So get over the slaves, okay? That's the biggest bunch of mechanical Newtonian physics consciousness, right? I can only think of somebody had to pick it up and it is heavy. Can't even think about, wow, why not talk to the rock? Why not say we want to create this? Who can do something that precise? Nobody. We still can't. We have all this technology. Good heavens. So we're moving. And Thoth is here. And he's been there scribing every life that you have had in your soul. He's been there. And you might perceive Thoth as a woman too. It's got a masculine and feminine aspect. And why? Because recording your life into the Akasha, recording your feelings, recording where you are. And at the weighing of your heart ceremony, in whatever culture, there's a different aspect of it. I love and very attached to my mystery schools that I went through in ancient Egypt and in Egypt in this time. And it's the weighing of the heart, the feather against your heart. And your heart has to be as light as a feather for you to be given permission to move to the next level. Why? Because of the fall. The fall could be the fall of Atlantis, could be any other story, any other of those things you want to talk about. It was the separation. We were not bad people. We were gifted by the sacred feminine, the Kundalini, the sacred serpent, which every culture revered until the Christians came and made it evil, because it is the sacred feminine. And the masculine energy cannot own the sacred feminine. It cannot do what the sacred feminine can do. It cannot create. It doesn't make you in a female body better than a divine being in a male body. It means you have different abilities. You're a different kind of a car. A different kind of equipment. You're built for different things. Everybody is waking up their intuition. But the sacred feminine is as out of balance as the sacred masculine and the feminine in the duality life forms. And in order for us to awaken that, those of us who know that we are called back to our soul's purity, to trust our inner voice, to talk to our other lives within our soul, to go in and say, yes, I'm going to go into my cave, I'm going to go into my sacral, I'm going to go into the deepest, darkest parts that hold the fears that I'm not loved, that I'm not good at the core of who I am. That's at the base of everybody, and that's at the base of healing the mother wound that we're going to do on the full moon. So, and it's a beautiful, soft, beautiful full moon, okay? Now we're moving into Capricorn. That's another thing that's happening right now. We're going from Sag, my sign, and Sag is a happy sign. It's a fire sign. It's a freedom sign. It's a movement sign. You like movement, and you like lots of things and good fortune, and it's the horse and the mane flying and that strength and the centaur, the mystic. It's the philosopher. Excuse me. It's all of those energies. And it's mutable fire, which means it's changing fire. So maybe you feel the embers, maybe you feel and then you feel like, oh, burning down. Woo-hoo. So that's what we've been going through. And we're moving into Capricorn. My beloved babies and my dad are all Capricorn. So I'm going back for a Capricorn birthday fiesta. And Capricorns are a goat. So they're an earth sign. However, they are traditionally a goat with a fishtail. So this is a very interesting mixture. And I believe this, that the Capricorn energy really isn't as hard as people perceive it, have interpreted it. You're steady on your feet. You can climb any rocky thing. You like to build. You like to work hard. There is an aspect of needing to work hard, and if you have that as an issue and a challenge and you overwork, you need to watch out as we enter Capricorn season. Okay? You want to take that energy and be like, ooh, I'm going to take my happiness and build with it. You can have steadiness on any kind of, I had goats. They can climb and jump off anything. It's amazing. Okay. And then there's a sense of the Capricorn is very good with money, very practical, very good with building. And so I'm going to use that Capricorn energy for helping to flesh out the structure of the heart fire spirit energy that's been coming in from my birthday, from this time period, from my retreats, for me, from the portals that have led me all this year through to this point, just like you. Take the Sagittarius energy today, tomorrow, so kind of going to be fading out after that, and say, I want to ignite my spirit. I want to ignite my prosperity. We have the prosperity magic is then the next thing. So what they told me was, here's prosperity grandmother. This is one of my oracle cards. And she's asked to be the main guide in our prosperity magic class, which is going to happen in January. And these are the two classes, Heal the Mother Wound and the Grandmother and the prosperity magic one, that we are going to work with. Do you see how she's working in the energy field? She's working in the cosmos. She's between the worlds. She's working through symbols and light. She's working in the stars. She is the eternal prosperity source, okay? And timeless magic, that's what we're talking about, timelessness, grandmother wisdom, it's really coming in right now. Eternal prosperity source and manifesting in flow. This is what we're going to be working with in January. So these are all on sale for a couple more days, these classes. These are brand new classes. I do them live. I work with you live in the classes. If you can't come live, it's fine. Everything's recorded. And the prosperity magic is going to be designed in a way that it's activations, modules, things that you pull off the shelf and use again and again. Okay, like the energy cleanses, if you have those, they're practical tools to use on a daily basis. Then we can move into the sacred soul powers, where we reconnect to the past lives that have our powers. So that's how that's going to unfold for the beginning of the year. Then we're going to move into March, and we're going to be in the Mayan magic again. We're going to be in the caves. I have, oh my gosh, I have some new healers. I've experimented with some Mayan sound healers, and a beautiful, incredible man. This man glows with luminosity, authenticity, beauty, and it came to me as a crystal bowl person, but that doesn't even touch the surface of what is possible. Not just all the different instruments, the voice, the sounds, the words, the music, the way that they do this hour thing, they come to us. But he brings his daughter, who was 7 and is now 8, and that's a very magical age, and her maiden energy is she's a powerful healer. She plays several instruments and sings. She's a healer in her own right. And now I have found an incredible body worker who works with sound and healing and water and osteopathy and chiropractic and massage and a dear friend of mine who's been through about 8 years of shamanic training now, who does sound healing, and then a woman, a beautiful local woman who is trained in the grandmother tradition, and they're all going to be in some way, I'm bringing them in to our March retreat, because it's all about bringing more magic, more healing, more ways of opening these portals, more of the sound and the frequency and the color and the auras. And then we work with the dolphins. They communicate, they awaken our third eyes, so do the manatees. They work with the aura, they rewire us. So we're going to have an epic, epic year. In February, the dragon year is starting. So I'm sure I'll be doing some special things about the dragon energy, but it's very important to realize that this energy could knock you on your ass, and the biggest thing you could do is to not get caught up in the imperialistic drama. That's the way it's going to unfold. It's going to be a lot of power. I want your stuff, right? And this is a cleanse. This is the finality. This is the final act, the roaring before the death of this power over us. So please, please take that, bring that into your awareness. Say, I'm going to walk into this year as a pillar of light coming back into balance. I want to come back into my Kundalini balance. I want to listen to my own inner voice, my own spirit. I want to embody that citrine energy where I do not allow my inner core frequency to go down for any reason, for any person. It doesn't make you uncaring or cold. It makes you able to be a channel for light in a moment where everybody else is wallowing around creating more of the low frequencies. You cannot fix anything by going to it. Do not get in the ditch with somebody when they drive off the road in a blizzard. You're going to get in the ditch too, and you're both going to die. This is something I learned when I went to college, and I can tell you what, energetically, it is very, very true. So let's wrap up, and let me take a peek here and see if there's anything I didn't share with you about our special moment that we're in. I didn't mention that we're in Mercury retrograde. So, you know, I have a free thing in the shop. You might want to check that out about Mercury retrograde. It's always interesting to learn more about Mercury retrograde, but don't be afraid of it. Everything goes in retrograde, not everything. Most of the other beautiful cosmic beings that we're dancing with here, Saturn and Venus and all these, they go into retrograde too. Some go into retrograde very, very infrequently, and some nonstop, like Mercury. So we want to just simply realize this is a guide. This is the messenger of the gods. And when it's in retrograde, it's saying, let's go back and look at things before you go forward. Well, that's perfect before the new year, isn't it? Before the new year, we want to take a review of the year, a review of where we are, and to really, with wonder, with gratitude. Okay, so how can you rewire your way that your view, your perspective of yourself? Okay, so remember, the solstice is a portal of light, and this is going to be a transmission. I'm going to do a transmission next, like a meditation, and we'll receive some divine guidance. This is basically what I sent out in the email, so take a look at the email, because you are the sun. So in astrology, the sun represents self. represents you. That's your light. So we talked about the different suns and how they are within you. This is the life-giving force for your own reality. You are the sun for your reality. What are you feeding your sun? Are you hiding your sun? Are you afraid of your sun? Are you still acting from old ideas that you shouldn't shine your sun, that you're too much? Okay, so right now you're receiving an incredible download of cosmic light, and we're in a time of rebirth, and this is one of the reasons Bat Spirit's here, so you might want to talk with Bat Spirit as well. Now, today we're having our celebration, and we're receiving solar gold ray galactic downloads. This is what's happening because of this alignment with the galactic center that I told you about. The veil is very, very thin right now, which means that you can receive more, you can understand more, but you might also take on more that isn't yours. So please activate right now. Take a deep breath in. I activate my light body at optimal speed for me at this time. Hold it as long as you can, and when you blow it out very hard, like a dolphin, and then watch it move through your field, through the cells and the DNA, into the aura, through the emotional field, the mental field, and out and out and out and out. Now I ask to walk in each moment aligned to my highest good, connected to what is optimal for me in each moment. I ask to leave behind my ego and allow the sun and citrine to bring clarity to me now. I'm ready to receive these galactic center downloads, these positive and powerful cosmic energies. I receive this boost, and I ask it to come in and upgrade me in the most gracious and aligned way for my highest good. Now, as you're saying what I'm saying, you need to say it. Don't say it out loud if you don't want to, but you need to say it. You're the one telling yourself. You're the one telling your body. You're the one in charge of your reality. You are the sun. The sun is the farthest away from us right now. We're in the deepest darkness. We're in the shortest day. In this deep darkness, look for your miracle. In this deep darkness, this is the womb. I'm ready and willing, and I am open and receptive to receive this amazing energy, to weave through the cosmic skies, to allow the portals to open and lead from one to another as I travel through this solstice, aligned with the galactic center and into the full moon. Now you can close your eyes. I'll be sharing the slides for another minute or so, but you don't need to read them. I'm guiding you through this in a sensory way. Take a deep breath in. Where are you bringing the breath from? Is it going up your nose? Is it going down your throat? Is it coming in through your hands or your heart? Hold it. Watch it. Does it have a color? Is it like a cloud, a mist, water? Is it expanding? Let it go like you're leaking very slowly out. The veil is thin, and I easily walk from this dimension, from my limited ego mind, from the drama, the pain, and the disease. I'm ready to receive and release, that I may enter this time of extreme, connected, heightened senses aligned with the grids of light through, around Gaia, through my body. I am Gaia. Gaia is me. I am the creator. I am the light. I am the sun. I am death. I am birth. All is within me. Now feel your feet. whether they're touching the earth or not. Open your foot chakra on the balls of your feet and open it wider and wider and wider and wider. And now invite your earth star chakra. I invite this portal within my divine auric field, my earth star center that holds all I have released. It holds the gold and the gems and the treasures that you've released. Go now down. Come into the caves of your own earth star. Enter now. Bat spirit is here. You feel the light around you. You feel as if all is being guided. The light, the sonar, it moves to you and through you. Despite the deep dark of this cave, you enter in a sacred way your own earth star. Walk with your heart. Ask your heart, your inner child, to purify. Ask Bat Spirit Medicine for the rebirth, for the guidance. Today, in this darkest moment, I've traveled to the furthest point within my reality, my truth. Here, the absence of light allows me to receive another level. The galactic center is within me. You find a special path within your earth star. You follow it. You feel it drawing you forward. The darkness, the walls of the cave, they begin to reflect light, the protective lines of light. You sense and feel the beautiful energies of Bat flying over you, rewiring you, opening your mind and your crown, forming a crown of light. Mercury whispers, I fly with you. We go deep into your past. It is the moment. Let go of your need to know. Let me hold you. As Hermes, I brought you the universal laws, the understanding of the caduceus. You must go deep into your earth star to find your wounds, to find your life force. Be mindful. Breathe. 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 The frustrations, the inclusions, those things you think are you that aren't. Breathe. Thoth is standing, recording, writing furiously in your book of life. He says, this solstice is the time of your 12th sun, the time to enter the truth, the dawning of a new day. You have come, you are here, the full moon beckons you. She holds the beauty, the wisdom, the abundance, the soft love of her arms. Open a path. You know as you walk through this darkness, she's there. You can't see her or feel her. She's there. There's never a moment that you are not. There is never a moment that you are without. There is never a moment There is no time in your earth star. This moment stands still. The solstice. We hold our breath together. Release and allow the breath to clear all the channels for your galactic downloads now. Receive and drink, receive and drink. Taste, savor, enjoy, love. This is the moment. This is the time. This is Gaia's crystal cave. This is the cave within you that holds your secrets and your powers. The downloads now turn into flowing rainbow light. It's filled with symbols, sparkles, light. You see visions in it. Life flares from it and then dies down. You can sense that you have the ability to move this divine energy. Your Earth star now opens a long path ahead of you, ends in a door. It's a door, dark and invisible, black like obsidian. It glistens, though. There's a shine to it. As you approach it, the magic begins to stir within it, like it's being heated up with the fire of your soul. Now, like the crystals on my retreat, it begins to glow. There's a gold, sparkles and shine within it, a depth to it. You walk directly through the perceived wall, door, barrier. Relax because you are here now. Relax because you have arrived. Relax. This is the chamber of the solar gold ray. This holds the keys to your sun, to yourself. Your true self is power beyond your imagining. You have embodied the serpent before. You have accepted your divine life force. You have rode the path of the great serpent down from the sun into the caves, and you have shed so many times you do not even know who you are, because you are not a who. You are an awakening master. You are a master of divine light. Divine light wishes to work through you, wishes to shine through you. You are too dense. in this chamber of your Earth star, you are now in the light of the solar initiation, the divine feminine fire. This is the phoenix, accepting the light that you are. The tools and the keys come to you. I am Isis. I am here to stand within you so that you can see who you truly are. I will stand here and you may enter. Each day we walk together. The dark is a beautiful moment because here all you have become frees itself into the world to become what it's meant to be. Birth is always a rebirth because the Earth star is where you recycle, you release, and all is reviewed. Once it is reviewed, the gems, the powers are stored in these chambers. The rest is gifted to Pachamama, Non-Lum, Earth Mother. You must remember to release all that no longer is in your life, in empowering and life-giving force to Gaia. She must consume it so your feather and your heart match. This is wing. The wings of which you speak are the wings in the heart that is not heavy, that carries no pain, that carries no blame. Only this pure heart can, light as a feather, fly free to the next reality. The reality is one where you sit on a throne of golden light, like amber, like honey, like citrine, like the gold ray. You see the serpent on our heads, and you've lived in an era that has rejected this power. You are powerful warriors who have tasted this fear and lived it. You have lived the fear of not knowing that you are the creator, that you manifest, that you hold the power no matter how many claim power over you. The book of Isis is within you. I have lived there. You have not been able to read it. You have not been able to see it, hear it, or understand it. But now is the moment. I am here. You are within me, and I am here with you regardless. Do you fear the serpent? Do you believe that you are bad? You are never enough. Your origin is one of sin. I am Lilith. I am the divine serpent. And I came to you with power. You know how to live in the garden. It never left you, but you knew you were going far away. The gift that I gave you was never wrong to receive. You were never wrong. Sin is lack of recognition of you and your truth. Sin, your original sin, your original wound, your original fall, your original separation, your disgrace, your shame is no such thing. This has never been the truth. This is been your perception. You walked in this illusion because you have the power of truth. You've never been separated from your power, and you are survived to this moment because it is within you. The knowledge is in the heart. I gave you the key to your heart. The path is now open back into the garden, and you do not need me anymore, because I am you and you are me. The truth of being one is a truth that cannot be taught. It cannot be achieved. It cannot be won. It is not in a medal. It is not in a bank. It is nothing that you can count, and it is nothing that will ever look the way you want it to look. This is the power of your divine creation. You are the creator, whether you realize it or not. You are the creatrix, whether you fear it, whether you were killed for it, and you were, whether you were shamed for it, and you were, whether you remembered it and then forgot it, whether you touched it and then ran from it, whether you wished for it, but no one around you understood. You were locked up and you were lied to, and it doesn't matter. Not one thing matters. You chose that path. You walked it. You are the queen. You are the empress. You are the royal. And you are back now. This is the moment of truth. This is the point in the path that most will not understand. And you are here because you can. You are hearing these words because you can. You are unique because you are hearing these words. These words are entering the world through one who is rarely seen, through one who is rarely seen. And this is happening everywhere. You must look under the rocks and in the caves. You must look deep within you, and you must realize that the sun has never left. That the treasures that you've been gifted with are always here, but that you are richer than when you left. When you came to me in the life where I gave you your heart, wisdom, the serpent is the descending God and Goddess. We descended into form together. I took you down from the temple and gently delivered you into the womb of Gaia, into the sacred water caves under all temples. Here, together, the serpents and dragons, the oracles and Gaia, all of the divine goddesses, Venus and Aphrodite, they all held the star light for you, the sun and the moon, the waters and the rains, the fairies. There is not a realm here that is not within you, gifting you, that you have played with, that you have loved. Expel your fear of the serpent. Peel away the layers in your mind that say it is evil, it is a demon, because the demon is you. The demon is the source of your life. It is not a demon that you know. It is the power of life in the hands of the sacred feminine, one who will own it, one who will hold it, one who will take it within and say, no wound holds me back. No decree and no law shackles me. There is nothing in me anymore that agrees to this slavery, that agrees to this limitation, that agrees to any former agreement. The truth is within me. The citrine flows in my veins. The divinity of the divine serpent is within me, and I give it permission now to end its slumber. I awaken the Atlantean crystals. I allow the truth to rise within me. From Isis to Hathor, from Aphrodite to Athena, from Ishel to Pachamama, across the planet, all divine, sacred, feminine, rise now. We are ready for the power and the feminine to meet again, for the strength and the feminine to meet again, for the fire, for the wisdom, and for the truth and the feminine to meet again. And they are here in your cave of wonders, in your womb of light, and in your crystal of the soul's blueprint. Every power of every life, every wisdom that you have gained through loss or success, every strength, every ability, from your base ability to walk in life, in a body, in a time of pain and fear and war and devastation. This is a power you hold. Do not deny it. See your strength and walk with it. Inspire others to see their strength and walk with theirs. Never again accept that you are weak, damaged, insufficient, or not enough. Walk with Pele. Feel the power of creation. There is volcano. It is beautiful, and it is in Iceland, and it is exploding. It is releasing, it is expressing as it is within you. Where do you feel it? There are fires burning within you. There's wisdom awakening. Allow, accept, remember. The divine serpent is your guide into this life and out into the next creation. You die thousands of times within one body lifetime. You die to being a child, to playing with certain toys. You die to certain aspects or foods, jobs, and abilities. There's no longer an interest in certain things. There's no longer the ability to do certain things. Every stage of your life holds a beauty you cannot imagine. Yet if you are not in it, if you are not present for it, how can you gain the wisdom that only this moment in your life can gain? You cannot enter this cave when you are 3 and receive grandmother wisdom the way you can now. You cannot enter this cave and hold your power and be willing to let those who do not like it stand in their space, not needing them to like you or agree with you or see you, not needing the money to be there, not needing to know the answers. This is not truth. That is holding on to lies, it's holding on to falsehood, it's holding on to the cave, it is holding on to the limits. You are not meant to stay in the cave. You are meant to move into the cave and be nourished, to decompose, to release, to let go, to do the metamorphosis, to become the goo of your soul's essence and begin to reform. The cocoon is where you find again these gems. And this cocoon is the solstice. Then you must heal your mother wound and go through the full moon into this new year, ready for the loving rabbit, this beautiful, soft, feminine year that has, believe it or not, cushioned you from the pains of the changes that have happened, have held you safe in a tiny little nest, like a rabbit safe within Gaia. You're leaving that space. You must own your power. Kali is here. The solar initiation is coming. Let her help you release the past. She is death and she is rebirth. All the signs are here and they are here for you. When you receive this, you shed the past, and like the sacred serpent, you are glistening, gorgeous. The sacred codes, symbols, the secrets, the wisdom, the portals are encoded within your very skin, within your very light body, within your aura, no different than the sacred serpent of the Maya that taught them everything through the pattern on its back. Mind, measure, time, movement, astrology, science, mathematics, prophecy, wisdom, and healing. Everything is within the sacred symbols that are within you. And it is already formed fully under the old skin that you insist on carrying, but you cannot be reborn with that old. It will cling to you, it will bring disease, it will bring dissatisfaction, and it will bring eternal disappointment. You do not want this? Please release it. I am Delphine. I am the sacred serpent, the Kundalini of Gaia. I have been brought back, and I have more love for you than you will ever be able to feel or hold. If you will trust this, the sacredness within you is stirring. You have everything you need. The divine loving counsel of the sacred feminine is reconvening now. If you are here, this is the sacred place for you. Know we are here in every moment. You can hear, you can see, you can feel. Let it be your truth. You are the only one that can choose this truth. And when you do, the wings of Nekbet, the sacred vulture, will cover your crown, your soul star, your higher self's wings will awaken all those coronets. And now the serpent will come from your forehead, as you see in all of our headdresses. This is the beautiful manifesting goddess. This is the goddess that you have blamed and shamed your own ability to create. This is the part of you that you have hidden and protected, locked away. Those locks and doors and fears and beliefs are dissolving now. There is no way to prevent your awakening. However, you can accept it. You can co-create with it. You can walk hand in hand with this circle. This is the circle of Isis, the circle of the moon, the maidens and the grandmothers. This is the ancient wisdoms and the future beauty. This is the place between the worlds that you have abandoned. Now is the time. We have been like ghosts to you, unreal specters, feared and misunderstood. Release the tears within you. There is nowhere to go but back to the light. You are at the depths of the darkness, and you are not alone. You are here. You have survived. The love that you carry is needed in the world. If you do not come with us and open your heart, we will suffer. If you do not open and walk the path of your soul, we will all be in the dark, because your light is the only light that matters. It is the one light. You have hidden your light. You have hidden your light behind the stained glass. It is contorted and cut into pieces. The colors are jumbled. You cannot see. Only the dragon can come to free this. Only the serpent's energy. Only the kundalini of your divinity can free us. You are in the deepest part of the cave. You are wrapped in the divine Sacred serpent, divine mother of love and light. The Sphinx, above and below, reflected within you, within your throat. The Sphinx asks her riddle of you. She is a reflection of your above and your below. She stands in your throat. Receive her riddle, receive her question. This is the riddle that will reveal your voice, your expression, and will connect you to these powers in your Earth star. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The all-seeing eye is wrapped around you now. It is the cocoon within which you will walk these portals that will stay with you through the first of the year. Citrine is here as a glowing, flowing gold light, very beautiful and feminine, almost angelic. Seems like gold wreaths and gold trim and gold luminous energies on a pristine white robe. She says that this power to hold your space in clarity, prosperity, and golden spiritual sunlight is now here. The more you acknowledge and accept it, the more it will become a part of your day, a part of your body, and by the new year, a part of your reality. As you come back into this moment, please step into your central channel of this crystalline, gold, luminous white light. Okay. Wow. Well, that went very long compared to what I expected, but wow. And thank you. That kind of turned into a Gaia's Crystal Cave type of channeling. It's extremely powerful. The kind of thing I do in my classes and my retreats. We go very deep and work with the mysteries. Something very profound just happened, and I'm going to have to re-listen to it and transcribe it because we were invited to go on a journey with a sacred circle of divine sacred feminine guides for the next year or two. I would love to hear what you saw, what you felt, what you experienced personally, as well as in any sense of this idea. It's a global awakening. We know we're one, we're meant to be one. And that memory, there was some tough love there. We had Lilith and Pele and Isis and a lot of Delphine, the dragon, the sacred Kundalini dragon. A lot of other divine energies. All right, I'm going to close in a moment. I'm just going to drink my juice so that I can speak. I have a strange color on my face. How odd. Looks like a shadow all down my face. Like a death shadow or something. How bizarre. I know I tell you this a lot, however, it's important to remember that if you don't do or haven't done the amount of energy, spiritual, and mystery work that I've done for that amount of time, that maybe it's easy to forget that and think that maybe this didn't work or it was just fantasy, and nothing that I do is fantasy. I work in very real realms with very real energies, and some of the messages that are coming through nowadays are pretty serious. They're pretty emphatic. And I appreciate it. And I appreciate being able to allow that to come through. So as you can see, every time I do a retreat, every time we have a portal, my personal transformation is accelerating. How I channel, what I channel, who I channel, the messages that are coming through, how they're coming through. It's a lot of fun. I love coming on here and doing this with you. We started out with a spiritual weather report and information about the solstice, and we ended up in an incredible, powerful, healing, transformational portal experience. I want to say thank you to Thoth, Ishel, Isis, Janisa Crystal. We'll talk about that again another day. Jaguar, Aphrodite, all of our divine guides, and all the guides that you brought. Wow. Well, this is awesome because we're going into holidays, right? So I want to, this is the Isis that was coming over our heads, this in this shape. This is from Egypt. She's got the sacred snake. Now the all-seeing eye, the symbol of the all-seeing eye, which is the center of our brain, which is all the glands that awaken to connect, pineal, pituitary, and many others that give us access to these other dimensions, that give us freedom, is part of the awakening of the Kundalini. The way that power has been taken from people and you have to go through the church, through the authority, through the father, through the whoever. You do not have the authority directly. That's the paradigm we're living in. I'm not blaming anybody. Don't go blame anybody. It's a waste of time, and you're going to get lost down some rabbit hole while we're over here having amazing ascension experiences. So the faster you let go of blame, shame, and all of that crap to yourself or anyone else, the faster that you're going to access the energies that you're meant to carry. And we've got to get our shit together. We've got to get our spiritual shit together. We have to stop getting caught up in this drama on the world stage. We have to stop being defined by our old self. Watch your verbiage. Do you go somewhere and get triggered and start going, oh, I can't do that. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. No, there's two sides to that. There's self-care. Okay, there's certain things I can't do, period, end of story. However, there's things that as they're invited into my life, I look at them and I realize, how could I do it? How could I support myself to do it? Instead of defining myself as, oh, that makes me sick and I can't do that, or whatever, okay? So knowing yourself is one part of your clarity that citrine is helping with. And then allowing yourself to move out of your comfort zone is the other part for the clarity. So the sacred snake was always on the forehead, here on each shell, in the Mayan land, here in Egypt, and up and down all over many gods and goddesses in Greece. And always the serpent in the garden is the sacred feminine Kundalini. And why is this feared? Why was this said to be the demon, because it gives you freedom, because it gives you the remembrance that you're God, that you are the creator, that you are source, that you can create within yourself. You don't need anyone around you. We went on the journey. We left the garden. We walked through this long time of being separated from our truth, believing that we're no good, not good enough, and we manifested it into the world. So hooray us, yay, we did that. Now we are rising back out of that. We can leave that behind. We don't have to make it mean anything that it doesn't mean. We can rise back into who we are, into the powers that we have, and remember our sacred power. So the sacred fear of the feminine that resulted in many millennium of women having no rights to vote, no rights to whatever, name it, okay? Still having that manifesting in the world. That's changing very fast. And the more that we realize it, we have to accept that the sacred serpent, even if it's called Kukulkan, which is typically a masculine entity in Maya, it's the sacred feminine. We come through life force. We live through cycles of life. If we learn to shed the old, we become the new. If we learn to lighten our heart from the pain and fear and blame, our heart becomes a feather, as light as a feather, like the Egyptians. Then Thoth said, awesome, way to go, next pass. And Mot and Osiris and all the divine guides opened the rivers, and you sailed on to the next level of consciousness, the next dimension of reality, where you realize that you are the creator. So you can't drag people with you. You can't keep who you were. You might keep the same job and the same house. You might not. It's not about you have to give up your shit. It's give up your shit, because the shit you know isn't anywhere near as good as the shit that's coming. So let's go woot. Shed the shit, okay? Shed what you don't, shed what you find comfortable. Shed, well, I like this. I have this amazing client. I wanted to let you know that the name for the sacred feminine snake in the all-seeing eye is Wajet. Nekbet is the vulture. So you see the crown is the wings, and then that's spirit coming into your brain. Okay? Then it goes through all those glands in the center of your brain and comes out, boop, 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 right here, and you project into the world your reality through your command center. These both have to be activated. They have to be connected to the Kundalini, and all of your chakras have to be balanced so that they cross in every chakra. Both energies are balanced. This is not happening anywhere on the planet for only a few Buddhist monks or something. Okay? Her name is Wajet. Nekbet is the other one. And then there's other Egyptian and other goddesses that with snake names. But Wajet is what they call the whole thing. When you see that Egyptian eye, it's called a Wajet. You see like jewelry, or you see a breastplate, or you see a carving. It's a Wajet. But the Wajet is the sacred feminine goddess, the snake, coming out here. And this is the manifesting into the world. So the feathered ones represent spirit coming down, your spirit, higher source, directly to you, not through somebody else to tell you what to do. To you, through you, where you are you, and out into the world, into that manifestation. All right, my beloveds, I'm going to just come say hi and see if anybody has anything to say. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lucille. Hi, Quinn. Oh boy, you'd go to a New Mexico retreat? Oh my God, you're from Colorado. I love New Mexico. It's extremely magical. And I keep asking if there's something to do in the US where we could get together. So maybe we will. I also am going to be speaking at an event in Glastonbury, England in September of next year. And I'm being called to create something like a goddess thing, a Celtic goddess event, something to do, maybe starting in Glastonbury and going to stone circles in England. I don't know. Um, this is very enlightening and remembering. I love this. Thank you. I'm so glad, Sylvia. Hi, Enza. Okay, Lisa. Welcome back. So happy I made it. Hello. Oh, I'm so glad you made it too. Happy solstice. And Divine Feminine Dancing. Hello. I've never cried so profoundly. Oh my God. Thank you. There was, wow. I'm just, yay, wow. It wasn't me. I get to be the channel and fuck, wow. I'm going to probably take time today or tomorrow to redo that, not just to listen to the words, but it was really beautiful. I saw myself as my skin was stained glass and like that really rustic kind of stained glass where everything's a really odd shape, right? It's just all abstract shapes and they're all melded together and the glass is really thick and colored and kind of has bubbles and some, it's not like clear, pretty glass. And it's sort of like, wow, that's the paradigm, that's the belief system of who we are patched together, seeing it through this like filter and I can't say it all went away, but it was I got to see it and feel it and Isis was over and around us and me and seeing through that. So whatever aspect of that is coming forward for you, any healing, because this was super profound, you guys. So thank you, all of you people here. Wow, you're awesome. Divine. Woot, shed the shit. Yeah. I've been following you since EFT days. Oh my God. Yes, it's an amazing transformation to witness in you. Wow, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Hi, Danny. Beautiful, powerful. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, this is really wonderful. Hi, intuitive energy healing. I know you. I'm trying to see your little picture. Sending in the rain right now. Great cleansing energy inside and out. Feeling so blessed. Cheryl, oh my God, please tell me about the Glastonbury. I'm there. I will make that happen. Woo, yeah, that's right. Cheryl, baby, you're in England. Absolutely. In fact, Cheryl, I'm going to be reaching out to you because it's just all manifested in the last 2 months. I was asked to be at an event. I've been asked now to speak at an event. So I'm very excited. The website's even up. And that event is kind of like a gathering for 3 days, for people, the different speakers and stuff. And I'll be sharing about that if you're interested in going to that. And then I will be doing my own event. And I'm going to be reaching out to people in England who, if you know a place, I would like to go for a little bit longer. I'd like to maybe go to different stores, different spiritual stores or other places, maybe do talks. And I've always wanted to go back and do stone circle work. So I don't know if anybody knows how to get into Stonehenge in a private group. That's on my list right back here. Okay, well, wow, that was a fun 2 hours together. Thank you so much for spending this solstice, pre-solstice with me. Please come back and enjoy it and share more with me as well. And don't forget to head over to the shop. The Dolphin Mayan retreat sale ends today. The private mentoring sales will end in another day or so, and then by the end of the week or end of the month or something, everything is going to be done. So those classes are what's coming up, and I hope to see you there, and I love you so much. Thank you very much. Namaste. And it's interesting, I have this back and neck thing came up, and this morning I could barely walk, and I was walking around and having to really be careful of my posture, which of course is part of what it is. It's a lot of old karmic wounds, and part of the problem is tech neck, sticking your neck out for the computer, which I do when I get into this. I forget, and I'm channeling, and I'm like, ooh. And so I'm noticing my body as I'm starting to come back, and I'm sort of surprised. It's not It's not too bad. Thank you, everybody. So also, I was telling you about my Jaguar obsidian. If you are coming to another retreat, I know several of you have already signed up for March and for May. And you are interested in these, I found 2 more Jaguars. They're a little different than this Jaguar, but of course I like the Jaguar. It's got the Mayan symbols around it. And obsidian is different than any of the other crystals. So I love all the crystals, but if you don't have obsidian, you need to be wearing it. Okay, there's gold obsidian and black obsidian. This one's gold, and I like these ones the Maya make with the different carvings of Ishel, the goddess, or and my crystal guy found 2 Jaguars, so I will be bringing those the next time I see you guys. Okay, thanks everybody. Namaste.